Welcome to my tutorial. So in this session we'll discuss about the set data type in Python. So first of all, let's understand what is set. Set is a collection or sequence data type that stores the unordered and distinct values of the same or different data type. Okay, so let's quickly see how we can define a set data type in Python, and I'll also focus on the different various features of the set data type. Okay, so first, let me just see how we can create. So there are two ways actually to create a object in Python. So one is using curly braces, like this. So first using curly braces and then using we'll discuss about this mm, using the inbuilt function set. So let's see first using curly braces how we can create a set. So suppose s equal to curly braces 1 4 5 6.5. Okay, if I print type of s, so it's showing the class is set, so s is the set data type. So s we can define, that is set data type we can define within the curly braces, and its values are separated by comma, and also we can store any data type values. It can be integer, it can be float, it can be a string, or it can be any other tuple, list, or any other data type is valid within a set we can define. Okay, so now let's see using number 2 point I will write how we can define a set using set function. Okay, so set function usually takes an argument of iterable object. Okay, so let's see how we can define a so how we can define a set using set function. So set function we have to define in this way: set bracket parenthesis, and then we can define within a list. List is defined within parenthesis. So I will mention 1 4 7, like put some string, bracket closed. So here if you see this this portion is nothing but the list. This is how we define the list. So this is actually here the list is actually generating the object, and that object is getting added to the set. Okay, so now if we see the print of type of s, it should show that this is a set s, and if we print values as, it's showing that set is this 1 4 hello 7. Okay, so this is s. Another way of defining this using set function is inside tuple, using the tuple. So if you write like this, so let's define the values into a tuple 10 20 4.5. This is a insert tuple. I want to declare insert tuple. So this is print as, this is again a set. If I do type of s, so it's a class set. Okay, so this is again a set. So here I am defining all the values using a tuple. So this is a square bracket is nothing but the tuple. This is how we define a tuple. I will discuss more in my upcoming session. So tuple, and inside tuple I'm defining all the values separated by the comma, and these values are actually added into the set. If you see this, this is the values in the set. So this is how we can define a set. Another way using set method is using a string. A string is also iterable. So if I write like this, suppose a string, so this is again a, if I check the type of s, so this is again a set. Now if I print s, if you see this, so this character of the string is getting added or getting treated as a different values for a set. So each is first value, second value, and all this. Okay, so this is how we can define this is a valid set. Okay, next thing I want to highlight is next feature, that is next feature of set, that is what if happen if we define a set, how to define a set, empty set. Okay, there is mm, a different way of defining a empty set. So suppose if I define s1 equal to this empty set using curly braces. Okay, so this is actually not a set, this is actually a dictionary. So if we check the type of s1, so this is if you see the class is dict, so that means the dictionary data type, not a set. So empty set we cannot define in this way. Curly braces have no data, that doesn't mean this is a set data type. So here it's a dictionary. So how to define an empty set? So for empty set we can define only through the set function, not through this way. So how we can define, suppose x equal to set, don't pass anything. So this is an empty set. So if I type of x, so this should sort set, and if I print x, this is set. Okay, so this is a valid. This is valid set. Okay, so now I can simply add the values to the x during add function. I can add any element to the list set using the add function. Okay, next thing I want to discuss is like insertion order. So insertion order here is not preserved actually. What does it mean? So number three features would be, I wanted to write insertion order not preserved. So if we see, let me just define s1 equal to 10, 25, 4, 7, whatever. So if I print s1, so if you see the order, we have added the first element as 10, second as 20, and this. But if we print, the order is jumbled. It's a random order. The data is getting printed in random order. 5 is coming first, 6, then 7, then 10. It's a random order. So here order is not that important. It's not important. It's meaningless to a set. Whenever defining a set, the order is not preserved. Okay, and that's why order is not important for set. So if we print again, let's see what happened. It is saying same order. So order is not that important. So whatever the order we have added in the data here while defining the set, the order when we are printing it's not same. So it's a random order we are getting. So order is not important or order is not preserved in case of set. Next important feature of this is number 4. I think this is number fourth feature. I would say this is duplicates not allowed, or we can say it removes the duplicate. So if I take the S1 example, so if you see the 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, all these 5 elements are there. Suppose if I add S1 dot duplicate element, suppose I'm adding 6. 6 is already there, but I'm still adding again. So add is the function in a set where we can use to add a element to the set. Okay, so if I print S1, it's still the same because 6 is already there. 6 is already there, that is this, and I'm trying to add a duplicate data. So here duplicates is not taking, so only once. So always set except the distinct values or unique values. So suppose if I add S1 unique values, suppose 30, add 30, it should take, let's see, and now print S1. So now it's taking, see, 30 is getting added, right? So only unique values are allowed, no duplicate values are allowed. So as sets actually removes the duplicates. Okay. So here if you see the S1 dot add 6, it's not showing any error. Actually it's looks like that 6 is getting added to the set, but when we are printing we are not getting multiple 6. 6 is only once we are getting. So that means set internally removes the duplicate data. Okay. So next feature would be heterogeneous objects are allowed. Okay. So what does it mean? Let me write. Number 5, heterogeneous objects. Heterogeneous. Sorry for spelling mistake. Might be a spelling is mistake here. Sorry for that. So heterogeneous objects, what does it mean? So that means I mean multiple different kind of data we can assign to a set. Different data type we can assign to a type. It's not mandatory that it should only hold numbers, it only hold floats, it only hold strings. It's not like that. So we can have multiple data type in a set. So suppose if I write set this, if I write 10, 10.5, if I write some boolean value true, some string like Python, okay, and then also I can define within this some set like 1, 2. This is a set. Let's see how it goes. This is closed. So set, within a set we cannot define a set. What we understand unhashable type set. So here we try to define a set. I just wanted to see. So within a set we cannot define a set again. So it's saying type error. Let's remove that and check. S equal to 10.10.5 dot true boolean float integer. I'm defining everything. Python. Okay. So this, if I check now, it should. Now it is printing. If I put type of S, so S type of S saying class set. Okay. So this is fine. So heterogeneous objects are allowed in a set. Okay. Also, number 6 features would be that set is growable in nature or shrinkable in nature. Growable or shrinkable in nature. Okay. What does it mean? So S is already defined one, we already defined. So we can remove any element from the set and we can add any further element to the set. Suppose if I want to add, then I will add method, and I want to add suppose 50. So I can easily add. Now if I print as, now 50 is added in the list. So we can, so set is growable in nature, its size is increasing. Okay, if I want to remove any this thing, any element, suppose I want to remove 10, so then remove is the function we can use, remove is the method we can use. Suppose 10, so if I print as, so 10 is get removed. Now 10 is no longer exist in the set, so 10 is removed. So 10, so what we have seen, this set is growable in nature and also it is shrinkable, so it's reducing its size. If you want to remove any data, we can remove the data from the set. So this is kind of growable and shrinkable in nature. Next feature that I want to discuss about this the that the set cannot be accessed using index, positive or negative index, and slice operator. Let's try to access that. Since order is not important, we already saw, so we cannot use index to retrieve the set element. So if I try to retrieve s, suppose any index, suppose 0 or 1, whatever, so it's saying set object is not callable. Okay, so that means index is not valid here, right? So we cannot use, sorry, indexing. So we should retrieve in this way, not through that way. So this way, indexing we should use in this way. So if we use this, set object is not showing subscriptable. Set object is not subscriptable. So that means this operator is slice operator. So slice operator is not supported. Okay. So again, suppose the index 0, I want to see how it goes. This is not subscriptable. So that means not supported. Okay. So now suppose as if I do in curly braces, what will happen? Saying invalid syntax. So the point is indexing or subscription slice operator we cannot use to retrieve this data set elements. So how to access? So how to access set elements, set values. So let's see that. For that we can write some for loop. So for now just understand this is a syntax. So I will write this. This is a syntax for for loop and simply write print s. So here we can retrieve each of the element. Just press again enter. It's showing all the values of s. Okay. So actually I have printed s. So that's why it's coming 4 times because of it's having 4 elements. So loop has executed 4 times and it's printed as the same thing, but we have to print. So here we are assigning each element into the y variable and then we are printing y. So here if you see, we are getting each element of the set. So this is how we can retrieve data from set. Okay, next thing I want to discuss, that is set elements. So immutable properties of set. The set elements are immutable but immutable, but set itself is mutable, but set itself self is mutable. Okay, so what does it mean? So let's see, set elements are immutable. So immutable means its value cannot be changed, right? So its values in set elements values we cannot replace. Suppose s0, so let's try to change its value. S0 equal to, suppose I'm trying to assign 50. What will happen? So set does not support item assignment. So set, so here 0th position I want to replace the value with 50, so that is not allowed. Okay, so that's why set elements are immutable. Okay, but set itself is immutable because set value we can change through add or remove. We can modify the set data, so that's why set itself is mutable. It's changeable, its data can be changed. That's why set is called as mutable, but set elements are immutable. Okay, next let's see some features about number 11th feature, that is repetition of operator, a star operator, that is called repetition operator. So how it will behave, suppose s into 5, s repetition operator is the star 5. If you do, then it will not support. So repetition operator star, we should the star is the repetition operator, so repetition operator is not allowed in set, so it will show an error message if you see this unsupported operands for set and int. So star operator we cannot use to for set. So here if we say, let me define one now, set 1 comma 2, and if I try to do s into s1, so to it I'm using a repetition operator, it is still saying the same unsupported operand, type error for set and set. So repetition operator is also not allowed in set. Okay, and one more important point is this set, actually this set is access very fast in comparison to the list. Okay, because there are so many regions, because it's order, the order is not important, and duplicates are not allowed here. So data access in set is very much faster than the in comparison to list. So this is all about set data type in Python. Thank you guys, thanks for watching.